Yo, Bells, this is Wii2PLAY, the Brenton Bushwicks of YouTube. After spending nearly an hour trying to figure out what I was even doing with my computer, just for aesthetics, I'm finally deciding to record this video. Now, hear me out. This is another personal, video where I'm just talking about my feelings. It's going to be very personal. Very heart to heart, and there will be some venting. Also, I've decided to write out a script of sorts with some bullet points so I don't get off topic and so I can get everything out concisely. So, I'm looking forward to 2021, as many people are. 2020 was not exactly the greatest of years, with the whole pandemic. But 2020 was not just bad because of the pandemic for me. There were a lot of weird and bad things that held my YouTube channels and my motivation back this year. A lot of it had to do with family, and then there's some portions which I will talk about that had to do with people online. Now, my mom is very, very sick. She is mentally unstable. Me and my brothers have to watch over her. We have a set schedule now, so that's sort of kind of interfering. And then Padfoot, I'm going to try to keep this as brief as I possibly can, but she did not leave off on a good note. There is a lot of drama, a lot of problems, rumors, and just bad blood going on between my family and Padfoot. That is all I'm going to say on the topic because I don't know what's true, I don't know what's false. All I know is that it's very stress-inducing. Like I said, a lot of things happened in 2020 that was distasteful to me. But not everything in 2020 was horrible, though. This year also, somewhat ironically, gave me the funds to pay for two of the biggest things I needed in order to progress and improve my channel, one of which you are looking at right now. Now, in fact, I made a calculated choice before the pandemic even became a critical topic of social media when I decided to buy a nearly $300, I cannot find it at this very second, cell phone. I know it's around here somewhere. Give me a sec. There it is. I got this really nice, trying to get this to work. This really nice Pixel 3a. It's not the latest and greatest phone, but it works for me better than the Ultimate 2, and especially that darn ZTE phone ever would. So I paid nearly $300 for a phone on the month of my birthday, just because I was sick of my own family unintentionally draining my bank account because of their own problems that involved throwing cash at the problem to fix it. I will not be listing anything else, but I will say one of those problems happened like a few Christmases ago, and I had to pay money just to get a car battery fixed. That's not cheap, guys. That's not cheap. So, I finally decided to spend money on myself, kind of selfishly, and got this phone. Now, when I was talking about someone ironically giving me funds to pay for two of the biggest things, I'm mostly talking about this computer right here. I would not have been able to get this thing without the check that was sent from the government because of this pandemic. It was because of that and some money I had to take out of savings for personal reasons that I decided to buy this baby. I still have to pay it off though. I am not done paying it off. But I am so much more happier with this than I ever would be with the Windows Vista, which is absolutely dead to me and is laying in my bedroom right now gathering dust. So, now, here's the thing, and I cannot stress this enough. While I may be very optimistic about things being better for me and hopefully many others come next year, I cannot ignore one other huge setback that's been happening on my own channel, as well as possibly my brother's. What I am about to say is fully scripted. That's why my eyes are leaning this way, because there is a Chromebook with everything I wrote down. This is fully scripted, just so I can avoid saying something that I know will hurt my image more and insult/hurt others that are listening. This is going to be a big rant, guys, so get ready. Almost every week, I get messages that either ask me to do something for them, or even messages I instantly have to delete since it's an insult to my channel and has no right to be on my content that I try to make appropriate for all audiences. The word being tried. There's a few 18 plus content, but I label it as 18 plus most of the time. Should have got some water before doing this. Now, maybe it was partly my fault due to opening the floodgates meant to give my watchers a chance to suggest what they would want me to play on my YT channel, despite that I already have a huge list of games that I want to play on my channel. Getting a little off topic. They're often games that I've never played, or game series that years ago I would have never decided to play on my own in my entire life. Regardless of the reason, this year single-handedly has been the most rage-inducing year I've ever had. I have talked well over enough times about my flip video camera breaking, my Windows Vista not working, which also kind of, well, I think that broke in 2019, but regardless. There was a risk that I had diabetes, still a risk. No, this has been the worst year for me. And I gotta say that, okay, like I said, I'm getting off topic. I'm mentioning things that aren't written in this script. Let me get back to the script. I refuse to mention the usernames. But in truth, there are people watching this video right now. I'm not going to list names. I'm not saying it's all of you. But there are people watching this right now and have been trying to get me to read their messages on various social media sites that, in my most realistic viewpoint, according to myself alone, which will sound selfish, are only here to make me upset and verbally attack those I do trust to a point. It has absolutely, honestly, gotten so freaking bad that I am going through a mental crisis at this very moment about who I can trust. I am not kidding when I say this, guys. I have trust issues right now. I've been racking my brain over how to deal with this issue in a more sensible way where I'm not unintentionally hurting others or doing something that I would instantly regret and would be sabotaging one of my few hobbies. Like, I don't know, for example, deleting all of my YouTube channels. Don't want to do that. I have to continue saying this. not only to help try to convince others of my intentions on this channel, but to also remind myself of why I have decided to make the choices I have for this channel. I love video games. I mean, look at this right here. I love playing video games. I lost my place. From when I first got my hands on an SNES controller and a Game Boy, as well as the Sega Genesis, Game Gear, and PlayStation, I have always loved playing fun games that me and my brothers could openly marvel, laugh, and even challenge ourselves with. But the fact is, when I was the first to move out, I was left with a new kind of loneliness I had never felt before. Worst, when I looked back at games I wanted to play, like Super Mario Galaxy, that was a big one, I decided against playing it because I felt the need to want to share my experiences with someone. Despite that my channel was first used to upload music from video games no one else uploaded at first, it was because of various other YouTube gamers, who I will not list this time, that I decided to devote my channel to playing games from my childhood and games that I wanted to share my first experiences of with other gamers who might enjoy my content. From old school games like Super Mario Land, which I haven't even played on this channel, to brand new games like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, technically I think I meant to say Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. All those new, current, and not so current but nostalgic games that I have played at some point or want to play. So I wanted to devote my channel to playing games from my childhood, and first experience was with games that might enjoy my content. Sorry, I repeated myself. The weird thing is that I was rarely ever social with anyone in real life, other than my brothers. But after experiencing the now abandoned Miiverse that I miss to this very day, it encouraged me to try to be a little bit more social online than I used to be. Despite, and this is a current problem, despite how bad I still am about answering DMs and interacting one-on-one with my fans. That's my fault. That's just my little burden to deal with, an obstacle in my path that I need to work on. But the point is, I don't want to give this all up. I don't want to stop playing games and recording them for my channel and streaming. I've been a YouTuber for 10 years. And I don't want to just give up on my passion because of a few cyber bullies on my channel, or even because of people in my hometown that rub me the wrong way. Some of which you might know about. However, I cannot, in what little good conscious, whatever I'm trying to say, I have left, I cannot let those people continue to antagonize me, my brothers, or my friends I do have trust in. Things are going to have to change a bit for my channel, and the way I operate, interact with it. The first off, to regain some sanity and possibly work on fixing up, as well as possibly rebranding my YT channels, more on that later, I will be taking this whole entire week that we are on right now off from posting or streaming anything publicly on YouTube and Twitch. Basically, I'm taking another 1 week hiatus. I love doing those so much. Second, I'll be only checking my comments on YT once a week. I know I get tons of comments, some of which are websites that absolutely should not be touched by anyone. But I'll only be checking those comments once a week. Don't expect me to always answer those comments. So please do not spam the same messages if I don't respond to it. Guys, it is also extremely important for everyone to know that anyone, subscriber or not, who posts anything that I feel offends or hurts me, my channel, or other viewers will be blocked. Or even banned, depending on how insulting the comment is, especially on streams. And lastly, but not at all least important, is my new rule on asking to be a mod. Do not ask me on my videos or my streams to be a mod. You may ask to be a mod only once on my Discord page, but I will be the one who decides whether or not that person can be a mod solely on their actions and their interactions with me and the audience, the people watching and commenting. I will solely decide if they're a mod based on their actions, if I want to make them a mod. Sorry, I think I repeated myself. There will be no exceptions. None. When I say don't ask me if you can be a mod, I mean that. Spamming any messages to be a mod will result in me blocking or banning those that do so. Listen, guys. Listen. I kind of hate that I have to be this blunt and mean. It's not in my character to be like this, usually. I try not to be like this. But after being used and tricked so many times due to my kind and forgiving nature at times, I feel like I need to enforce just how much I am not willing to accept this abuse anymore. I have to put my foot down, and it's going to hurt some people. It honestly makes me look more like a bad guy in a way. But to me, considering I'm doing this for my health and sanity, as well as a few others I genuinely care about, I feel more like I'm a rebel. A rebel who refuses to cave into others' demands. A rebel who makes decisions that feel selfish to others, but to me are necessary based on my past mistakes. A rebel who will never receive the respect that every human deserves on this messed up world. In the end, I still want to pursue my passions and hobbies, since they're the only thing I have to enjoy most of the time during my lows I often have nowadays. But I have learned the hard way many times that even those that seem like they care about me could still emotionally hurt me. Yes, even my family has done so, not listing names. I'm sure everything I've mentioned makes me sound more paranoid and self-absorbed than I usually sound. But regardless if I believe that to be so, parts of me do, I cannot deny at all that this is because of some of those people in my life, in real life or otherwise, from my past or my present that have turned me into the person I am today. Still love video games. Kind of have a love-hate relationship with social media. I am and will never be able to make the right decisions and say the right things to help make myself look more innocent than some may think I am. I am only human after all, just like everyone else. That all said, lost my place again. That all said, after this whole long rant I have just said, you are still welcomed to unsubscribe to my channel if you do not like me as a person. It's right there. You can choose to stop watching me if you didn't like this conversation and the way that I've been acting / possibly treating others. I understand that my style of commentary, my thoughts and beliefs, and even this high-pitched voice I have may not be something that you genuinely care about. I will not take it personally if some of you finally decide to leave this channel for good. 500 subscribers, most of them came just for when I was uploading music. You are free to unsubscribe to me if you don't like my content. It is perfectly okay. I know I'm trying to go for 1,000 subscribers, but if you genuinely don't care about my content and the way I interact with my audience sometimes and my how I am as a person, you can unsubscribe. It's fine. I'm not going to hold it against you. Like I said, I will not take it personally if some of you finally decide to leave this channel for good. If you do decide to stay though, even after all of what I have just said, which is a whole lot, all I really ask from anyone here is just to treat me, my family, my friends, and all those good-hearted subscribers of mine that are genuinely here for my entertaining videos. I just want all those people, me, my family, my friends, and the good-hearted subscribers of mine, to be treated with respect. Just treat us all with the same respect that I wholeheartedly believe that every human deserves in their life at some point. When we're innocent little kids, we learn from other people. But at some point, we should all be treated with respect based on what actions we make. As long as we're good-hearted people. I'm trying to figure out how to word that correctly. Because, despite what I have said, I would give that same respect to others who deserve it as well. So, after all of that, why this video is probably about to end, finally, the last thing to mention that I hope is more of a palate cleanser after all the stuff I've been talking about. With the new CPU I have, I do plan to evolve and improve all of my YouTube channels. But, based on how late I received the system, I thought I was going to receive it in October. It wasn't until mid-December I got it. Based on how late I received the system, and what was not included with it, which did not include an SD card, plus I might need a CD reader at some point, it will still take a little more time to fully transition into the version 3.0 I've already teased for next year, 2021. My hope is that I can purchase everything I need and learn all the tricks to using those applications to their best abilities by March. Much like how I was using the OBS, except I couldn't get it to work for this particular video. So I want to buy all the applications I need for this computer and learn how to use them properly by March, the month of my birthday. That is my personal deadline. Doesn't mean that it will happen. That's just what I hope will happen. That I can get my 3.0 channel update by March. Despite every setback, excuse, and controversial moments that I've had so far, I truly believe that this will be the beginning of my peak on my YouTube channels and Twitch channel that will solidify me one day in the ranks of those that have came before me, even if I don't make a cent by doing it. Though, and I feel like this needs to be discussed before I go through with it in another video or stream, I may want to make a Ko-Fi account to earn additional money from those that do care about my content and want to see it grow. I repeat, it is not necessarily Patreon, it is Ko-Fi. It's kind of like Patreon. You just give whatever you want to me through an online bank. I have not set up that account. It is something I'm thinking about doing. Now the money that would go into Ko-Fi would only be used to improve my channel and equipment, but it will mostly be to pay for video games and even computer/Steam games that you would love to see me try out. So if you give me that money, well, if you do give me that money, if I set up my Ko-Fi, and you say, hey, I want you to try out this Call of Duty game, I will do it. With that money that you have helped submit to me, and that others might submit to me, I will play that Call of Duty game at least once. Guaranteed. It's something to discuss a little later next year, once I am fully ready to push my channel's potential to the very limit of my own skills and possible suggestions from my friends, fans, and fam. I think that sentence was written a little weird. At some point, I will even post a list on Discord of all of my projects that I wish to start, continue, and or include. Including to stream, where I will, and I have promised, to react to your videos that you want me to watch, which I plan to do sometime in January, next month. With all of that said, thank you so very much for watching this video, and a big thank you to all those that have watched and supported me in some way in my whole 10 years of making dumb videos with mostly a discontinued flip video camera, which you can see right there on the screen. It means the entire world to me. Despite that I am not being paid to make these videos, and that I don't have 1 million subscribers, let alone the 1,000 I need to stream with my phone, Pokemon Go anyone, I am just happy recording, editing, especially editing with this thing, this is better than Vista, recording, editing, and seeing the reactions to my playthroughs and reactions of games that I hope to enjoy for years to come. I want to be doing this for a long time, guys, because this is a strong passion of mine. And hopefully, you guys want to see that too. And I did not write any of that down in my Google documents. But until then, and whatever else comes out of my channels, this has been the one and only Wii2PLAY, the Brenton Bushworks of YouTube. Unless I actually decide to change my username this upcoming year. We'll talk about that. I've got nothing left to say except that I hope that you have a wonderful and much more healing New Year. And I hope that you, say with me, enjoy your day. Take care out there, and I will eventually catch ya later. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it.